So, anyway, 3, 2, 1, boom. Time actually starts the first room anyway. Okay, so we play Laura. We're on board a ship with invisible aliens. We don't know all of that at the moment. We know some of it if you watch the opening cutscene, but we're not watching that because it is like 15, 20 minutes. And unskippable too. So, as you can hear, the ship is currently in emergency mode. So I've skipped a lot of stuff here, like there's a nice scene there where like Laura like looks around her and like, ooh, wonder at all the stuff around her. Yeah, it's impressive for the era 3D stuff. We don't care about that. We just want stuff done. So we need to go in here, and we're on this terminal, and the only terminal we can do this on is we are unlocking all the doors. And it's faster to press cancel to bring you straight down to the quit every time. So I'm mashing cancel here again, and it just moves it straight down. Otherwise, it takes a few seconds for it to actually move. And then the game goes onto a black screen. So the Minus Edition, the main reason how it works is I replaced cutscenes with a single frame of animation where I could. Which would be the last second of a cutscene. But sometimes that doesn't work, and I had to just replace with a single black frame instead. So the terminal window, when you go into and come out of it, it's kind of weird. It doesn't actually cut properly. So what I did to get around that was I got the game to just go onto a black screen after each time. It's a locker key. I might go, how am I supposed to know that's a locker key? Actually, if you look at the terminals, there's a huge wad of lore, and that includes all the stuff for how to actually get the what the weird stuff actually looks like when it does. So we're supposed to be on easy mode. We're supposed to be calling our buddies and getting advice off them, and they'll give us hints. They'll give us overall goals, at least for the first disc and some of the second. Third disc you're on your own. But yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. So our current objective is to go downstairs, turn on the power, and we also need to meet up with Parker, whose room is in the downstairs basement. So this is, we're actually doing a little bit of a sequence break here. We're turning on the generator before we're supposed to, and the game lets you get away with it. It is one. That bit. Nope, it is, sorry, it is. Oh yeah, I'm going to run through there. And now we're going to go to Parker's room. So, you can actually get in-game maps for some of the floors, and that's really handy for this one. Where you go like, oh, there's actually a really direct route I can take here to Parker's room. That's a trap. You take that, you die every time, without fail. The alien is standing right in the middle of where you need to go, so you have to take the scenic route around. And if you don't, you'll die. Lucky enough, on every difficulty, this is the exact same thing. You'll hear roaring and roaring at you and threatening you. It's fine. Makes no difference. You always just take the exact same route, and you're fine. So now we're in Parker's room, and we're just going to step over the red paint he's left everywhere. And the game really wants you to use a terminal here, and it's kind of blatant about it. But first off, we need to go and look at his locker, and we need to get Kimberly's number for her security code, so we can call her on the terminal. But because we actually don't need to do this, we have to just get her number. The game only checks to make sure you've got the number. That's it. It doesn't actually check and make sure that you've successfully that you've successfully done anything. It just checks, have you gone down to the basement to get and picked up Kimberly's Kimberly's number. That's it. So have Kimberly's number in inventory, so the next game event trigger will happen. Now you can actually take the direct route back out, and if you're grinding, you can YOLO it. It's not super consistent though. Sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't. I'm not particularly grinding here. I don't even think my record attempt has me doing the direct route out. So yeah, like even my world record in this, beatable. It is easily beatable. Anybody with a bit of time sunk into it will happily just knock it out of the fucking park. Because I got a good enough time and I stopped playing because the run is long. It's over half hour, and I just can't. Okay, so I'm going to Marcus's room, which we couldn't get into before until we'd done Parker stuff. So now we're going to grab his biometric keycard. And we're just going to use his biometric keycard. And now we're in his storage unit, and we can grab a gun. So because this is easy mode, it's actually pre-charged. On other difficulty settings, you actually have to go back to the locker room and charge it before you continue, but lucky enough, we don't need to do that. So I could do a safety save here. And if you wanted to, you could probably just do like a fucking skip here. Like you probably do category skip where you're just skipping everything up until you leave Marcus's room. And boom, that's the first enemy down. So now we need to get to Kimberly's room. And we actually get attacked in the elevator in the cutscene. We lose our gun, don't worry about it. And we're being chased. And you can listen to Laura, who tells you to climb up to defend. And it's the only time in the entire game you use this mechanic where you look up and you automatically climb into the vent. So we're safe from the alien that was chasing us, but we're not safe because there is 2 aliens roaming around here on easy mode. So it's actually kind of good game design. It kind of steers you into not messing around. Like, oh, you can't get over there because there's an alien in the way. You need to get a gun. So the game kind of forced you into getting a gun here. So you use that, you use the PC, you use that again, and we got a key card for George. Let's use George's key card there. Perfect. And now we can get out of here. They're actually locked in this room until you get George's key card, which is kind of good game design as well, because like everything you need to solve the puzzle is in this game, is in this area, and if you go over to the other side, you need the key card. So yeah, but again, we got George's gun here, and we're actually good because need to pay attention here for a second. Oh, we're actually good. I'm really lucky there. That's actually really good RNG. The alien was actually at the other side of that junction, so it wasn't an issue. That's what you want, because like firing the gun is slow. It's not slow, but like it does take time to do it. And we have exactly 3 shots. So we used two shots there, which is all we needed. If the other alien had been in the way, that would have been a 3. On other difficulties, it's kind of an ass. Because you need to, on hard, it's really annoying because you actually have to go back and recharge every shot, and you have to kill both of them. Okay, so then we need to go to Kimberly's PC and start making calls to people. But before we do that, we have to, first of all, check the crew's database, and we need to look at our personal files. Oops, I accidentally picked the wrong one. I need to go to personal file and actually look at her single file, which is her and all the crew. Except for George. So George doesn't make that shot. We'll see why in a little bit, because George isn't exactly the most friendliest person. Okay. Now let's start making phone calls. So we don't call Laura's room because we're Laura. We know we're not in our room. We're in Kimberly's room, so we don't call Kimberly. So we're going to call David. David is Laura's boyfriend. He's over another tower, and he says, "Oh, I'm a bit injured, but we're fine over here." And we're going to call George to see if he's okay. George won't. George completely ignores us. That's so nice. But we're going to call Mercus, not Marcus, Mercus. Yeah, that's actually a translation error, I believe. Yeah, there's a cutscene there I actually cut out. We're going to call Ronnie. Ronnie is unfortunately didn't make it. He's in the opening cutscene. We don't see him at all till later on. And then we're going to call Parker, who you might remember was in the basement and surrounded by red paint. Parker is actually Kimberly's boyfriend, and she runs out in tears. And we'll call David back one last time, and David tells us it's all safe to come over to the other tower, and we can, safety numbers, and we can come up with a plan together. Hey, okay. Job done. Right. So now we need to swap disks. Let me split direction. We should be placement properly. You didn't. Sorry, I'm using virtual drives for this, and sometimes it mounts to the wrong letter, and it is free time loss every time it does it. Thank you, game. Okay. Okay, so we had a cutscene there where Kimberly ran off ahead of us with her own gun, and her video feed went dark. So we're now running after her to see what happened, and we can hear that there's an alien prowling around here. Lucky enough, this is completely safe. We have nothing to worry about here because if you just take this route every time, you're safe. Kimberly, however, is not. So you might have seen it there briefly. There's some blood on the ground. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't save like a minute there, just like wherever I spit. I'm kind of inconsistent where I spit in this. There's some like hard rules where I do and some where I don't. Okay, so we need to go all the way up to the top floor first. So this disc is mostly actually puzzle solving over combat. The first one is kind of a mix between the two. This one is more puzzle solving, and the third one then is full on combat. So that elevator control is done in binary, and that actually is really good game design because it shows you this, which helps you figure out what the numbers are. So I do feel it's kind of a cheat that the code is like right there on the side of it. I kind of feel it'd be stronger game design if they actually had, you have to find it first. But anyway, so we're inside F7. I'd have to go all the way around. As there's a body in the floor. We can actually pick up shades off Parker's body, but we don't need to. So this one is 2 in any direction, down, up, bump, and wait. And we read the ACCI file, and we find out all the stuff here. So if you actually notice here, I actually edit this text message every time I do an event. So here it is, transport an enemy to highest priority, mission crew members in, try to sell xenomorphs in quotation marks to Boy Cavalier. If you've seen Alien Earth, that's a reference to that. So there's a few more, and I'll show off as we do them. I only pause for the splittest of seconds, just so that you can read them. So yeah, and doing this has no effect on the game run because it's the exact same amount of characters. I actually use a hex editor to change. You can't just like type in whatever text you want. You actually have to use hex editor to do it. So next time we're going to floor 5, which is up, down, up. And now we're going to meet the other survivors on this floor, which are George and our boyfriend David. So we go into George's room first. Again, this is kind of annoying where you have to know the exact order to do this, otherwise it's wrong. So you go in here and you talk to George first. And George tells you, "Oh wow, you're alive, and you made it over here." Okay, well, David's actually in his room across the way before it goes down to the basement. If you want to say hi to him, so you have to talk to George first, and then go over and talk to David. And there's a cutscene here where you have a nice big romantic reunion with David, and it's very pretty. But we're actually skipping all of that, just be in the room, and we then have to come all the way around and look at this picture. And then we have to go back over and talk to George one more time because David says he's going down to the basement. David won't actually be in the basement until you've talked to George. I am kind of doing this as a YOLO run. Like, I'm not going saving just for shits and or giggles. So I have to talk to George one more time. Don't worry about recharging a gun. Actually, the game is actually really nice and recharges your gun in between the disc loads because there's actually a talk. Laura and Kimberly talk, and by the time you actually get resupplied, so it's nice. Okay, so now that we've talked to George, George says David's definitely in the basement, and now he actually is in the basement. If you hadn't talked to George one more time, even though you had no reason to do so, you're actually stuck because you'll be wandering around wondering what the hell am I supposed to do. Then by sheer default, you go back in and talk to George. So there is aliens down here, and I was a millimeter from death there, but it's okay. We don't think about those things. Ideally, you want to be like walking forward the entire time and charging up. So this door was burst off its hinges. It wouldn't be if you hadn't talked to George. So we come over here and we can see, oh, someone put paint in the corner again. I sure hope David is okay around this corner and there's nothing bad or dangerous around here. Oops. Looks like David didn't make it, and David is also an android. I just want to make sure I grab the. I did. So David had a hard drive on him. So what's the only place we saw a computer? And if you sit upstairs on the very top floor in floor 7, yes, you're right, but that's not the computer we need. It is the one in George's room. Yeah. So we're going to come down here and we're going to back up and talk to George. Now, there's still one more alien roaming around here, and if I don't get lost, I should be able to avoid having to actually fight it. So it's here, straight down and left. Okay, we're good. Okay, and now we need to go back up to floor 5, which is up, down, up. You're actually lucky I managed to figure out how to skip the elevators because, like, oh my god, the cutscenes are so long for it. Okay, here's a kind of a meme trick the game pulls on you. So we're going to just use the David's hard drive on the computer, and we're going to read that, and we're going to have a cutscene where we get attacked by one of the aliens, and George comes in and runs off. So here we go. And this one I just want to change as well. What should I change? This is to find out like David is ship's robot. He's actually programmed by George at somewhere in the original text. But I have there, capture bioweapons, aka the enemy, teach bioweapons how to twerk, and then we need to make them visible so we can record TikToks of them twerking. Yeah, I get bored. So there's a cutscene that actually plays here where you see George running off and he drops the scanner key right here. That's me picking up the scanner key. If you missed the cutscene, like if you glanced away to like grab a drink of water and glance back at the screen, you won't see him do that. And the game will never tell you, ever. And yeah, and that's a critical item. You cannot finish the game without without it, and you can only pick it up leaving the room. So if you're facing inwards to walk into the room, you can't pick it up. You have to be turned around. It is such ass. Game. There we go. Lucky enough, it stays pre-solved. And now we're going to use the mail scanner in the far corner. That's the key that George dropped because you want to see, hey, we just got attacked by an alien. Let's see what it did to us. So I have to walk all the way around. These cutscenes didn't actually cut properly, so I just left them in as is. I didn't try and cheat around because, in fairness, it also helps motion sickness because it stops you just jerking around. So yeah, so we did look at the scanner. We saw we had an alien inside us, and George came in threatening the gun, and he doesn't want us telling people about David. So now we need to go down to David's room, even if the game doesn't tell us. So we've been running away from George, and we have an alien parasite in our neck, and we actually have no direction at this point. I just know what to do this because that's what you do next. So we go to David's room, and George comes in, attacks us, and gets killed by an alien. Very exciting stuff, except, long F&V sequence. We're skipping F&Vs, so yeah. So we're going to search George's body, and he was working on a new orange key card, which lets us escape. This entire tower. So go on to the next tower. So we actually turn back on the power. So this is floor 6, which is up, up, down, enter. And this is usually fairly consistent as well. There's one alien that kind of stays at the top left corner of the map, and we start at the top right. So it will come down, but we should be able to get into the power control room without having to actually fight it. We'll trigger our radar in a second. There we go. That's fine. This is super consistent every time. And now we just need to actually solve the puzzle. So you can get hints in like 2 different places. On hard, there's actually only 1 place you can get it, which is kind of stupid because if you have to play normal to unlock hard mode, and the puzzle solution is the same. So this one is 180. I can't just type in the numeric keypad. Unfortunately, I would love that you actually have to press the buttons. So 2, 7, 0, enter. The next one is just 0, but looking at the game lets you just press enter to skip it. And last one then is 1, 3, 5. So like one of the hints you get shows like the actual, like just what the dials look like when they're solved. And then one of them actually just gives you the numbers to actually input for each setting. So we should, if you get really lucky, I mean like really, really lucky for your RNG, you won't have to fight the alien here. But if the doors are opening, you do have to fight him. He never comes all the way in, and he's super consistent to kill like that. If you get really lucky, you can actually run straight out and run left and just run all the way here, and he won't catch you. So you saved a few seconds there. If that happens, complete RNG, and yeah, there is a very much a lot of RNG with the combat in this because that's where you get your replayability factor. In fairness. Okay, so we have everything done. So now we need to get to the elevator to the next tower. So that is floor 1. You might go, but Vincent, you didn't go to floor 3 or floor floor 4. Yeah, you actually can't. You can put the elevator there, and like Laura just kind of just goes against the bulkhead wall that's just down for some reason. Kind of weak. I'd say more likely just budget wise, you just hadn't got the disk space and the cache and just the time to just develop another thing. Okay, so now we're on to disk 3, the final disk. So woo. Now eject that disk. We're going to mount this one. Work first try, and okay. So this one is consistent. You just follow the exact same thing here each time, and you're good. Okay. So the next one, we have so many mazes to do back to back, and there's monsters on every single one. So we're kind of hooking the left wall here a little bit, so we can just get straight here. That's the only one that's kind of risky because sometimes he can spawn a bit closer, and if you're not hooking the left wall close enough, you can't get past him. We have a gun, but like we don't want to be using it here. This one is super consistent. We just run straight here and take the first right. And I usually split like after you do it. There's a cutscene here where you get a new upgraded gun. That's usually where I split here, and now we're on F4. So now we're going to choose to a new enemy type, which are these little like slug creatures that you can see. And lucky enough, you don't need a full charge shot to kill, and the range on them is super cool like that. So you can just kind of just tap the fire button and kill them, and you're good. But the little gits love hiding around corners. But this one is the safest room out of all of them, where I just run forward and it'll be like one guy I need to shoot here on the ground. And that's it. We ignore the radar because like he'll never come near you. Okay, this is one is where it gets dicey because there can be a little visible guy hiding right here. And we're actually avoiding some combat here. That was smooth. Sometimes you have to fight one of the invisible guys, but that was actually smooth. Didn't have to do anything there. And this is one of the more difficult ones because there's a guy coming behind me now, and I need to kill a guy in front of us. And I have to run because there's a guy somewhere behind me, but also I want to get past the junctions where another guy can spawn in front of me. I think I'm safe. Unfortunately for this, yeah, I'm safe. Unfortunately for this, aliens can be at the other side of a wall, and the game won't tell you. It doesn't care. It's just tough shit. Make do with it. Let's go. I'm beeping. There's an alien nearby. I don't care if there's a wall in the way, but there's an alien nearby. So yeah. So this is the scariest one because there's multiple aliens roaming here. I need to avoid getting killed by small guys who can sometimes be in these. Okay, that was okay. I'll take that. Fastest is like if you don't have to ever attack them, you just run. This is one that could be dangerous. Think I'm okay. Yeah, I'm safe. Look if you don't need to fire for each of them. If they're on screen and they're the small guys, single tap is enough to get them. So we're actually fairly safe. We're just going straight here to fight the boss. Hi, Ink. Yes, enemy 0. Warning for headphone users. We're going to get a loud noise in a second. Boom. And the boss is dead. And you think, oh, you can save now, right? No, you can't. Yeah, I gave Tango a copy of this, and hopefully that she'll play it at some stage. This is definitely a weird one, and it's the 30th anniversary of the game this year for the original Japanese release. So I'm definitely trying to get this everywhere and anywhere I can for putting eyes on it. So this is one I'm this is really annoying. I'm getting like the best possible RNG. Except I got turned around there. I want to go up and then right, I think. Yeah, I got turned around there. I got like the best RNG possible for the enemy placements, and this isn't even a good and my first two discs were sloppy as hell, and I get those like absolutely best possible scenarios for the third disc. Oh god. Oh well. So I use the white key card here, which is kind of mean because you wouldn't think to do this. But like this is all the way back on the first tower's basement. But now we have a fully charged gun and we can go have fun. You can actually get a bonus cutscene on the first disc if you go back downstairs with the charged gun, and when Laura kills the enemy, you get a little cutscene of her like signing relief. This is where things get a bit dicey. Okay, that's actually the best possible RNG again. Like holy crap, that's ridiculous. Why does this game hate me so much? So yeah, to scroll through all of this. I actually have some bonus text here from the last time we did it, like thanks for Helix on the GD Hotfix, shout out some people, and yeah. So now we just need to get the hell out of here. And there is a more direct route out, but I can never remember it directly, so we're just going to take the safe route back out. It doesn't even save that much time. It just goes like through the center of the map, and I'm just going slightly along the right hand side. But like you can walk past the corridor so easily. That's why I do it this way. This isn't going to be PB better because like I don't think 37 minutes was my PB. I think it's I don't think I actually saved the splits it open. If it is a PB, I'd be very pissed because I spent too much time messing around. Okay, so now we've lost our earbuds, and fun fact,
please evacuate immediately.
The original walkthrough.
In 3 minutes.
To the left. Back. Forward. Forward. The enemy is near. Go right.
Yeah, I already messed up here.
Go right.
I know I'm not supposed to go right there. This is when I go right here.
Go right.
So David kind of lures you into some dead ends, just so they can go like, "Oh my God, you're in danger! Turn back!"
To the left.
And we're right near the exit.
If you turn that corner, you're almost there. We're gonna make it back.
And time is as soon as we get to the door here.
To our hometown. Yes, it's this way. Open the door and I'll be waiting for you there.
Okay, 34:56. I don't think that's a PB. I think I have a 32. It's actually, I just want to double check. If you want to take my phone, I'll let the cutscene play out. Zero. That's a PB in world record. That's a 6-second PB, and I got lost the fucking final. Oh my god. Oh my god, I could have done that so. I could have got so much better. Still a PB. It's still a fucking PB and a world record. Wow. Don't make me grind this out again for a better time.